Alright, this is going to be a video about Angry Birds 2, and this is a game that I did not expect coming out anytime this year. I knew they would probably make another one of these games because, let's be real, this is like the Call of Duty of games. They make one every year, and it's actually a little more Pokemon-like than Call of Duty because they make multiple ones a year, and I don't know how many of those games they make a year. But it's a lot of them. One thing I actually have to say about this game is the biggest part of it that I like compared to the first one is the graphics. And usually I don't matter about the graphics that much in games. I mostly care about the gameplay, but it seems like there's a lot more animations, which make the game a lot more fun. And they really do add to the game. You know how in the first one it felt more 2D. You'd hit a block over, it would just fall to the side. This one, they actually you'll hit some birds, they'll fly out of the screen. There's a lot of added bonuses in this game. And another thing that I really do like about this game is when you click, when you start a level, something I don't know why they changed this compared to the old Angry Birds games, but this time it relies on a different system. It's kind of like if you ever played Candy Crush or Super Mario games, where you have the different worlds before you go into a level. It's kind of like that. Yeah, it's more like Candy Crush because you have a certain amount of lives, so you can't keep playing it for forever like you would with the original one. There's a certain amount that you have, which kind of sucks, but it's a free game. I believe the other ones were about $1. They should have charged $1 for this one, and they should make like a premium version where you would. And this is saying a lot because I usually don't pay for apps because I don't really see many apps I would use for a paid one. Another thing that I really like is in the game is that what's it called? The cards. If I already mentioned that the cards. So when you start a level, there's two stages from the levels that I've seen. There's the first part, which is like a tutorial showing you how to use the bird. Maybe if you get a new bird, like the ice bird, the blue bird. Wait, like for example, you know the yellow bird is meant to hit the wood blocks and it goes faster. You know that, so it will make a level completely out of those, and then it will tell you how to use the bird, and then you can actually still choose between your birds at the bottom of the screen. You have like 3 or 4 cards or so, and actually if you get all of them, sometimes you'll get an extra card which can be used in the second stage of the level, which has definitely a lot more to it. Something I also think is kind of good about this game, it's a lot different than the original, is some of the pigs are actually a lot stronger. You'll see like boss battle pigs where they have a health bar at the top, and you actually have to hit them multiple times or use like one of the explosive blocks against them. I think it adds, it's a unique twist to the game, and when I heard of this game coming out, I didn't expect much from it, from the little trailer I saw and from all the pictures. I thought it would just be another Angry Birds game, which is really what a lot of them had been. When they started making sequels to when they had like Rio, Star Wars, Seasons. Okay, I thought Seasons and Rio when they just had a couple of them. Then they made Friends. They made them for the Xbox, which were like $60, and I thought those were a ripoff. I saw it in the PlayStation Store, and I'm like, how is this $60 when I could just get it for a phone, which would be $1, or if not free, I believe it is. It's probably free already because let's be real, the only people that have not downloaded Angry Birds yet are people that recently just got their phone. And I really think that this game is pretty fun. I was playing it a lot yesterday, and it's just like the other one. You're gonna be playing it a lot. It's still pretty addictive. The only thing is that you have to pay a lot more in this game. It's more of a pay-to-play game, which is something I do not like about this game. Yeah, there's 50 cents for a refill, I believe it is, and I'm not really a fan of that. I'd rather have it be like the other game where you just pay a fee up front, and then you can play whenever you want. Yeah, you can. I'm not really a fan of that. which they have. There's a lot new puzzles in the games, which some of them seem to not have as much like what's it called, like classic. They're not as cool as some of the ones in the first game. Because this time, you know how in the original Angry Birds games, the birds would be set up in a certain layout where you could only use one whenever. This one, you select the bird whenever you want, which I think kind of makes it easier and harder at the same time. Easier because you can use a bird whenever you want, whatever bird you have available, whenever. This and kind of harder because some of the times you'll see like an ice block in front of something in some of the older games, and you have a bluebird to use first, and you go like, all right, the bluebirds are mainly used on ice blocks. So something I like about the game. Would I recommend downloading this game? Since the fact it's free, I played it on my Android phone, so I believe it's free on Apple too. It probably is. So I think it's a pretty good game. Would I recommend downloading it? I definitely would. The limited lives I'm definitely not a fan of, but it's still a pretty good game. Some of the puzzles are pretty fun too. It's just like the first one where you're gonna have. It's still fun, but it's just not as challenging, not as puzzling. It's just not as the. It's not as hard as the original, but it's still a pretty fun game. It's alright. I think you should definitely get it. That's all I have to say. This is actually a game that I really wouldn't talk about, but considering how different it was, and I don't know, it was a nice change to the series in my opinion. But I think they should really just make a paid version with unlimited lives, just like the original, and this would be a perfect game. And they could still do that in an update. So that's all I really have to say, and bye.